Mound blend day one today, so we did mostly flat grounds without the Rapsodo, and then we threw 9 off the mound at about 70% effort on the Rapsodo. So a couple things I want to point out that were really good. I think you topped out at 63 last summer. I said let's throw about 70 to 80% effort today. You were still above 60 miles an hour, so I think that's pretty good, especially considering that that you've grown and it's throwing your mechanics and your sequencing off. Not a bad place to start. RPMs, right? Spin rate, that was fantastic. 1609, especially at a 70 to 80% effort range. That's really good. Let's go over here. So your spin was pretty good on most of these pitches. Your efficiency was really good. So on a fastball, which I know it says changeup, we were just going low intensity fastball grip today. Your spin efficiency is really good. So we want to see 95% or higher on a fastball. And again, in case you forgot, spin efficiency is how much of the spin is being contributed to the projection of the ball. So for you, with an arm slot about here, 100% spin efficiency is going to be looking like that as it comes in, right? 0% spin efficiency would be like a gyro slider coming in like a bullet. All right, so that shows that you're not cutting the ball, which is really good. So that's solid. Spin direction was overall pretty good. We had that one that kind of got out, but that's okay. That was just one pitch. If we go over here, I'm not worrying about strikes on day one of a mound blend. Release height. So you started out high, and we were able to get adjustments through some other cues without even focusing on that, and got it back down here. And I'll show you that release point, why I think it's good where you're at for that. Okay, let's take a look at a couple of videos for the mechanics. So this was your first pitch of the day. All right, and your sequencing is off. You haven't thrown in a little while, so that's kind of to be expected. We got plenty of time to get you where you need to be. All right, so just to recap, let's go to the first point. All right, so knee coming up to the opposite shoulder is what we want. However, we don't want this trunk lean, and that lean is being caused by bending this knee. All right, so this leg, you don't want it to be locked, but you want it to be straight. So we want to be as tall as possible in this loading phase. All right, shoulder locked into the catcher, front knee coming to the back shoulder, back leg straight up. We want to keep this heel in contact as long as possible so we can build tension through that back leg. All right, now from this point, if we go forward a few frames, before I go forward all the way, right, over the summer we talked about being aggressive with that front side leg. All right, you come in really soft and then you land with it pointed straight forward instead of being slightly closed. As you can see right here, you're going to open. So right here, that front hip is opening early. That leg should still be closed, right? So this foot should, instead of being here, we should be more here, okay? So you're opening early there. The back heel is coming up. Oops. The back heel is coming up right there, and you're getting that knee to cave in. So really, right here, this knee should not be in front of this toe. That heel should be down. This leg the knee should be facing out towards the camera a little bit, and you should be sitting back, right? This glove, and I'll show you this on another pitch, this elbow here should be up here more, so you're more here like you were over the summer, and then you can yank back and get some of that rotational power there. All right, so what's going to happen is front hip opens early, torso goes early, and back hip's going to come through late, which is going to put stress on the arm. Okay, so at land, or foot strike right there, we're going downhill. All right, again, that should be up here. This ball should be above the shoulder. And at this point, that hip should already be in rotation going forward. All right, so if we go, and you can see how the shoulder and the hip are kind of going at the same time here, frame by frame. Okay, right here, those hips should be facing the plate fully, and you can see, so you opened early and landed with your toes pointing at the plate instead of slightly closed, but in this case, it helps me make this point of the hips are not facing the plate because we know that that foot's facing the plate and they're not lined up, but your chest is already facing the plate. So that sequencing is off, right? Because the hips have to rotate before the torso. And we're talking within like milliseconds, but going frame by frame and slowing it down like that, the hip should be fully rotated before the trunk finishes its rotation. All right. Now, right there, that's not bad, right? The glove could be tucked a little bit more, but that's not a bad position right there. Okay. It's getting to there from here that we need to work on. Okay. So let's take a look at another pitch. Let's go. Let's look at this one. All right. So this was one of your first pitches today. It was your fastest one. Okay. Right there, and this is a better angle to see it. You can see this is already collapsing. So that knee is already coming forward where your quad dominant here, we want to be up tall at this point, okay? I want the back pocket to face the plate. I want this knee to come to that shoulder, but I don't want that to be at compromising this lower half to get there, okay? Or the back knee to get there. So let's go to that's your peak right there. So this should be your tallest position. You should be straight up at this point. All right, now here's our stride out. Okay. That should still be closed. You can see it's starting to open, so you're still opening that front side early here. And at this point, your weight should still be back. This should be back here more, and that heel should still be down. We don't want to be coming up already there. That's going to lose power, right? Slightly better position. We're not going completely down there. Let's see what happens here. But look how you've already floated so far forward, and you can already see that the torso is rotated before that back hip. And right there you can see it really well that the torso's already straight to the plate and the hips are still open. So if I go a few more frames, you're still moving the hips forward right there. All right. Again, that's not a bad position, right? The finish is good. It's getting to that finish that we need to work on. Let's go one more pitch. Let's see, I don't remember what happened on this one. Okay, right there. So better positioning there, but then that knee caves in, and now we're already tilted, and we're going to start to fall forward again here. Okay, I shouldn't see the bottom of the foot. That's actually closed. That hip's a little closed better there. But you're coming around, and that's why we could see the bottom of that shoe. And you can tell your heel's up a little bit right there. All right, so foot strikes right there. All right, so if I could be on this side. Again, this is better. All right, that's better right there. Ideally, this ball is going to be slightly higher than the shoulder at this point, just to reduce the stress. If I could push you back that way in the direction of like maybe that foul pole, like that way, it would be in a much better position, okay? So when this hip starts to turn, it needs to turn before the shoulder, or before the torso comes rotating, and we want to get this shin in a more direction pointing towards home plate. And here you can really see it well. Your torso is almost fully rotated that way, and this hip is still open behind it. Right, this is a better one. So right here, you're in line, the torso is already gone, and that hip hasn't finished. Right now, where the hip's gonna finish. Okay, and there, that's a solid finish. Okay, we just gotta work back up that way. And you've got time. I mean, it's the beginning, it's mid-December, and you guys I don't think are playing until March. So you've got time, because again, 70% effort, that's pretty good. Like I told you, I don't want you to run hard today, and I don't think you were going high intent. So this is fine. Spin, so we can talk about this a little bit. I haven't talked about it with you yet. So spin rate, let's see, your average, we'll go by the average on this. Average RPMs, 1515. Average velo, 58. So 1515 divided by 59, call it. 1515 divided by 9 is 25.7. So that's right at the average for spin. So it's not high spin rate, it's not low spin rate, but given the fact that we were going at a low intensity, I think you're going to have a high spin rate. And so when we get closer to the spring, we could talk about locating that fastball, how to best get little pop-ups and stuff like that to get outs. But again, not a bad starting point. We just got some mechanical work to do because the data points are at a good position for you right now.